그거야. I sent the link for the stream. I went live. Should I adjust it at any time? Or just leave it? Okay. Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Great. Just a couple more minutes. Thank you guys so much for your patience. Just bear with us a few more moments, and we will begin shortly. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please stand with your right. Earl of Antigua and Barbuda, His Excellency Sir Rodney Williams. Okay, they can sit. Thank you. Please be seated. His Excellency, Sir Rodney Williams, Their Excellencies, Sir Clare and Lady Roberts, Commissioner of Police, Atlee Rodley, colleagues, members of the media, family and friends, welcome and thank you all for being here with us this evening. My name is Tichelle Antonio and I will be your Masters of Ceremony for the rest of the afternoon. Briefly, before we begin, just a few housekeeping bits. The restrooms are located out this door, where there's two lovely ladies. You walk up the corridor by the lockers. There are restrooms over there. If you all would be so kind to just put your phones on silent, that would be appreciated also. If you have to take a call, no problem. Please just step outside to do so. Additionally, please remember that the fun will continue outside after this portion of the evening has concluded. There will be mixing and mingling in the main lobby, as well as member sign up, I believe, over there by where that blue bag is. So just be sure to stick around and not scurry off as soon as this part's finished. So, in my biased, humble, but biased opinion, I believe that we have a fantastic event planned for one and all. So without further ado, I would like to invite Dr. Sonia Ford to the podium for the official welcome. Yay.
Thank you, Tichelle. Good evening. Please allow me to adopt the protocols already established. I bring you greetings and a warm welcome to all present here and online. It is a privilege to address you all this evening for such a fortunate occasion. Today, we celebrate the official launch of the Antigua and Barbuda Association of Mental Health Counselors, Incorporated. We call it ABAMHC. The executive board members have been working very tirelessly for the past 3 years to be able to get to the point where we are this evening. We now have a non-governmental organization, and we are so excited about that. This organization will speak to the needs for a safe space for mental health practitioners and the critical mental health needs of the community at large. The launch is our opportunity to share our mission, our vision, and the next steps. Again, we are so very thankful that you are here to join us, and we look forward to a positive and informative launch. Thank you so much, and enjoy this event. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ford. I would now like to invite Miss Marisha Potter to the stage to perform the national anthem. If you could all stand, That would be appreciated. And Miss Marisha Potter is of the Panache Steel Orchestra. Thank you so much, Ms. Potter. I would like you all to remain standing as we welcome Ms. Teresa Gardner to the stage to bless this evening's event with a prayer.
Good evening, everyone. Indeed, it is an honor for me to be here. I believe that God is so concerned with every aspect of our lives that even in the madness of COVID-19, He placed it within their hearts to birth ABAMHC. God, Almighty God, we are so humbled at your absolute greatness, God. God, we invite you into our midst today on such a powerful and exciting occasion. We bring before your throne the ABAMHC and all that is envisioned for this association. God, every plan, every vision, every mission, every goal, and every strategy, we are grateful for wisdom, but we understand that all of our wisdom is but foolishness in comparison to you. And so, God, we ask that you invite your spirit into this association, dear God, that you would sit at the very midst of it. God, that you would lead and that you would guide as only you can. We understand that we can plan and that we can execute beautifully, but it is in you, God, that we can have great success. And so we submit this association to you. God, for those whom you have called for such a time as this, the founding members and the executive members, God, we bring them before you. God, we ask that when their responsibilities may render them weak, God, that you would strengthen them. God, that when they would grow frustrated and weary, that you would bring them comfort. And when they would feel alone in their work, God, that you would send them help. God, I pray for their personal and their professional lives, that you would bless them as they would stand willing to invest in this thing which is far greater than they are. God, that every good thing they would put their hand to, that you would bless it beyond measure, dear God. God, I pray for the reach of this organization, that you would do with it what only you can. God, that it would mushroom and that it would expand beyond anything that we could have conceived. As they raise the standard of professionalism in mental health in this country, that you, God, would establish it and expand its boundaries. God, that you would let it not be a monument just in our country, but, dear God, a movement of excellence. God, we stand against everything that would come against this organization, that you, oh God, would hem them in on every side. Even now, dear God, that you would open rivers in desert places. God, we say thank you for every season of their lives that has brought them to this place at this time for this purpose. We say thank you for releasing bountifully resources in their favor even now. God, we thank you for the conception, the birth, and the future of the Antigua and Barbuda Mental Health Counselors, Inc.
Thank you so much, Teresa. Please be seated. Okay. Next up, I would like to call Ms. Tamara Luby to the stage to give the president's remarks. Round of applause.
Good evening, everyone. I struggle to find the words to express how honored I am and what a privilege it is to stand here before you tonight as we launch the Antigua and Barbuda Association of Mental Health Counselors Incorporated. This non-governmental organization, built on commitment, integrity, and purpose, aims to be the leading professional organization representing mental health practitioners while also setting the standard for mental health counseling here in Antigua and Barbuda. In recent years, matters surrounding mental health have received more attention across the globe. The unprecedented COVID-19 pandemic brought with it an increase of people suffering from mental illnesses around the world, and there was no void of it here in Antigua and Barbuda. As such, it is no surprise that the pandemic highlighted not only the urgent and increased need for mental health services, but the importance of the ease of access to counseling and other relevant modalities to members of our own communities. What is encouraging to me, along with the growing need for mental health services, Antigua and Barbuda has also seen a growing number of mental health practitioners. When I returned home from the United States in 2016, there appeared to be a relatively small subset of practitioners in the field. But today, that number has increased significantly, as is evidenced by the creation of this organization and the individuals represented in this room. Creating this organization has given us a clear and collective vision of the mental health needs of the citizens of Antigua and Barbuda. It has afforded us the opportunity to chart a path forward. Currently, Antigua and Barbuda has no specified legislation that governs the practice of mental health counseling and delivery of such services. It is my interpretation that the Mental Treatment Act of 1957, which notably is the only article in our governance that attempts to acknowledge the issue, falls short, as there is no articulation for such services to be delivered by qualified clinical providers. However, it is my understanding that the government is currently in the process of updating this act accordingly, and I'm very happy to hear so. Further, I ask that we acknowledge the continued commitment of the professional counselors who are working in a variety of settings today, treating this growing vulnerable population with no governmental framework under which they should practice. Yet, with their expertise and experiences, they continue to strive for excellence and deliver quality care. Such a void has prompted the creation of this organization. Professional mental health associations are not rare. There are numerous national, regional, and international organizations doing the work, setting standards, and elevating the issues that we propose to address here in Antigua and Barbuda. Our professional counselors need strong collaborations, and as the need for mental health services and resources grows, we hope to create greater visibility as we mentor young professionals who are driven by the same cause and are responsive to the same needs as those of us in this room. In May 2020, shortly after the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, a working group was formed to begin the groundwork for creating such an organization. The working group, now referred to as the founders of the association, consisted of myself, Dr. Sonia Ford, Ms. Elena Gomes, and Ms. Holly Christopher, all of whom are practicing mental health counselors. We identified the existing gaps in the mental health counseling field and worked diligently to bridge these gaps through the establishment of this association. Key stakeholders were consulted, and in July of 2021, a virtual consultation was held with representatives from the then Ministry of Health, Wellness, and the Environment. Present at that meeting were the mental health focal point for the ministry, the permanent secretary, and the president of the Medical Association of Antigua and Barbuda. A second consultation was held in January 2022 with local mental health professionals and practitioners. And most recently, in July of this year, a consultation was held with the CEO and the president of the International Association for Counseling. The team also completed extensive research to garner insight on other regional and international organizations relevant to the field of mental health counseling. We reviewed the governing documents of these organizations, which informed the development of the association's bylaws ethical code of conduct, and the strategic action plan. It was reassuring to learn that our vision, mission, and goals all aligned with regional and international best practices. The creation of this organization was not ventured into lightly. We strive to advance the development of quality mental health counseling by upholding ethical standards for practice and providing continuing education and licensure opportunities for practitioners. We realize that mental health care is not just a matter of public health, it is also a matter of public protection. We will hold our members to a high standard with the unwavering expectation that they deliver mental health counseling services in a manner that is both professional and ethical. The association will be cogent with its expectations and will work tirelessly to limit unethical practices and to ensure public safety. We will mandate that our beneficiaries receive appropriate care from a qualified mental health practitioner who understands the nuances of the practice and helps people achieve their mental health goals in the safest manner. The current executive board members of the association have already started work to carry out the goals outlined in its action plan. In tandem with our goals to advance the development of the counseling profession and improve public policy and mental health legislation, the executive board took on the task of drafting a Mental Health Counseling Services and Licensure Act, which outlines recommendations for how mental health counseling should be ethically practiced and governed in Antigua and Barbuda. The proposed act also stipulates requirements for licensure. Another achievement includes the development of the association's website. The website will be the hub for information pertaining to the association. Interested practitioners will be able to apply for membership through the website and can access important resources related to their practice. Further information regarding membership will be shared later on in this evening's presentation. Lastly, in order to execute the goals of the association, we understand that it is necessary to collaborate with organizations and businesses within the private and public sectors. The advancement of mental health counseling and advocacy must be done at a community and national level to be expansive and to gain more traction. Therefore, I invite you to support the association through partnerships and monetary or in-kind donations. The establishment of the Antigua and Barbuda Association of Mental Health Counselors is an accomplishment for all of us, one that should be acknowledged with pride. This association puts Antigua and Barbuda on the regional map as pioneers in the mental health field. The establishment of this association speaks to the fact that Antigua and Barbuda is prioritizing mental health and wellness of its citizens, and that Antigua and Barbuda is committed to doing the necessary work to ensure advancement in the mental health counseling profession. Thank you. So at this time, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude and appreciation to the executive board members for their years of commitment, dedication, and perseverance. As mentioned, establishing this association has been no easy feat, but tonight we celebrate the culmination of our hard work and efforts. So with that said, please allow me an opportunity to introduce to you the members of the ABAMHC Executive Board. Dr. Sonia Ford, President. Vice President. Ms. Elena Gomes, Secretary. Ms. Holly Christopher, Treasurer. Dr. Saren King, Professional Advocate. Mr. Vernon Solomon, Professional Advocate. And Mr. Shell Antonio, our last professional advocate. Thank you all very much.
Thank you so much, Tamara. It's clear from your remarks how dedicated each and every one of you have been over the past few years, 3 if I'm not mistaken. Can you still hear me properly? I'm sorry. If I'm not mistaken, for this monumental moment. So kudos to you and me. Now I would like to welcome Miss Elena Gomes and Miss Holly Christopher, who will be giving a presentation on the association.
Good evening, everyone. All protocols already established. I have been tasked with the very hard task of explaining to you all of our governing documents, which I promise to be very concise in, as we have 3 main documents that govern our association. That includes our bylaws, our code of ethics, and our strategic plan. Now, our bylaws contain 6 different articles currently. Article 1, which outlines our vision, mission, core values, and goals. Article 2, membership, where Holly will come in later on to discuss and explain to the members, who I'm hoping are very excited to join the association. Article 3, meetings. Article 4, the executive board, which I'll outline shortly. Article 5, the Secretariat, and Article 6 are subcommittees, which I will also outline. So the Executive Board comprises of the President, immediate past President, Vice President, Secretary, Treasurer, Director of Public Relations, Director of Membership, Director of Research, Student Representative, and Professional Advocates. As you can see here, and as you have heard earlier, all of these positions have not been taken as yet. So, hopeful and soon to be appointed and accepted members, we would like to have a full board. And if anybody is interested in being a part of the board, once you have become a member, we will invite you to apply to be a part of the board if that is something that you are interested in. If you are not so interested in being a part of the board, we do have subcommittees that will also enable you the opportunity to give back and to help us to make this association one that puts us on the globe. It puts us at a universal standard, and we would like for everybody to take part in some way. So we have 8 different subcommittees. Those include membership, certification, education, ethics, advocacy, public relations, fundraising, and research. So I'm hoping one of these 8, or maybe all of the 8, entice some of these members here this evening who are looking to sign up at the end of our presentation. And hopefully we'll get some things going. I think all of them are just as important. So whichever one you want to join, please feel free to speak with us afterwards and see how we can get this sorted out. Now, our second important governing document is our Code of Ethics. Us in the profession know that this is very important, and we all need to follow a specific standard of ethics. So in our Code of Ethics, it comprises of the core values, general principles, and our ethical standards. We have 8 core values: professionalism, transparency, integrity, inclusivity, cultural relevance, accountability, collaboration, and confidentiality. One of the most important, I would say. We have 5 different general principles. Principle A, beneficence and non-maleficence, which speaks to the fact that as practitioners, we aim to do no harm to our clients. Principle B, fidelity and responsibility. We have a responsibility to our clients, and we also need to remember that we need to form a trusting relationship with our clients. And as a result, this principle B speaks to that in our Code of Ethics. Now, I didn't mention before, but our Code of Ethics, our bylaws, and our strategic action plan are all accessible on our website. So everybody has access to it, and you can view it in more detail at your leisure. Principle C, integrity. Principle D, justice. And Principle E, respect for people's rights and dignity. Now, Principle D, justice, speaks to the fact that we try our best to be fair to all clients and to ensure that we do not mistreat any clients and to be aware of our competence as professionals. Principle E, respect for people's rights and dignity, essentially lets us know that we need to provide services for persons irrespective of gender, age, sexual identity, socioeconomic status, or any other difference that might hinder somebody from accessing psychological or mental health services. Our ethical standards, we have 8 of them: resolving ethical issues, competence, human relations, privacy and confidentiality, research and publication, education and training, record keeping and fees, and advertising and other public statements. I know that's a mouthful, but essentially we are trying to have 8 different ethical standards because we want to ensure that we try to cover everything. We're trying to cover the professional who is certified in maybe grief counseling or substance use, and maybe they end up saying, no, well, they're able to see children, okay? We have to ensure that we have a board and an executive and an association that is responsible for ensuring that all of these professionals who come and practice and say that they're doing what they're doing are actually qualified to do what they are doing. Our field is supposed to be respected, and as such, this association will be held responsible for ensuring that all persons who would like to practice in Antigua and Barbuda are qualified in the area that they say they're qualified in, and that we continue to ensure that they uphold a level of competence and that they are trustworthy and truthful in what they are saying they are certified in. Our last governing document is our strategic action plan, which is very important because we are trying our best to outline to you what our goals are. We're not just here coming to say, yes, we're forming an association and that's all, we just want to have a title. No, we want to make a difference. And how we plan to make this difference is outlined in these 7 goals. Goal 1, advancement of the counseling profession. Goal 2, capacity building for mental health professionals. Now, what capacity building means is that even after you have finished getting your degree or your certification, we are going to also give you the opportunity to get continuing education units by explaining to you what particular courses are online that you can get certified in. We're also hopeful that in the future we will provide our own workshops that can certify practitioners. Goal 3, improvement in public policy and mental health legislation, which Tamara would have alluded to in her speech. Goal 4, awareness raising and advocacy. Goal 5, promote membership within the association, because without you, we have no association. Goal 6, data collection and reporting. Now, data collection and reporting is especially important because I'm not sure if a lot of us are aware, but there is very limited research done in the Caribbean and especially in Antigua on mental health. And so it is difficult for us to have informed conversations or have the necessary documentation that can help us to know, what, this is the particular strategy to use if somebody is really depressed or is suicidal. We have to go and find that outside. We have to use the research done somewhere else. So having our own research will help us to make more informed decisions based on evidence-based practices and evidence-based research. Goal 7, organizational advancement, because as an organization, we do want to advance. We want to get better. We want to know how best we can help our members, how best we can help the community. And so that goal as well is quite important. I hope I have not bored you. That is the last governing document, and I will now welcome Holly to explain the membership.
Good evening. Okay, so I'm sure like many mental health counselors within this room, we are all members of some professional association, none of which are in Antigua or in the region. So I am members of association. I'm a member of associations within the U.S. and within Great Britain, but not here. So, well, now I am. So now I am a professional member, right, within Antigua and Barbuda, and I am a full member. So we have 3 different membership options. So we have full membership, and to be a full member, you have to be either a citizen or residing in Antigua and Barbuda. You also have to meet certain criteria, educational criteria, and we have done extensive research to decide what that is. And so, again, like Elena has mentioned, if you go to our website, you'll see in detail what that is, but you would have to have at least a master's or a doctorate degree, bachelor's if UK, right? You would have to have met certain criteria in terms of internships and internship hours that are supervised, right? And you've had to have been practicing for X amount of time, okay? And then we have our student membership because, again, like Tamara has mentioned, we have many students who are studying mental health counseling within UE and in the US and in England, and hopefully they'll be coming back home. But in the meantime, they can join as a student member. So then again, they also have to be a national of Antigua and Barbuda, but not necessarily residing, they can be studying abroad. And then we have our affiliate members. So our affiliate members are those who may have a bachelor's degree in not in mental health counseling, psychology, right, or social work. So they have a bachelor's degree and they haven't quite gone on to maybe do their master's yet, or gone further to do a doctorate, but they also want to be a part of the association. So as a member, here are some of the things that we will offer. Again, alluded to earlier by Elena and Tamara, but professional development and capacity building, our standards of ethical practice, community service and volunteer opportunities, which we host to post against on our website, our directory of mental health counselors. So if I want to receive counseling services, I know that I can come to our website and find out who is a member of this association so that I know that I'm getting a qualified person in the field to help me or one of my loved ones. A job center. So jobs here can be posted on our website, can be found for those who are looking for job opportunities within the field. Counseling resources that we can post, research, literature, assessment tools and templates. Professional advocacy, as mentioned earlier, legislative advocacy, and we're also hoping for licensure. This licensure, the Mental Health Counseling Act, we're hoping it's definitely separate and apart from the Mental Health Act. It is for mental health counselors so that we can receive licensure. So that we don't have to be licensed within the US to feel comfortable to practice here. We can be licensed within Antigua and Barbuda. To our knowledge, I think it is only Jamaica and the USVI that has licensure within the Caribbean. Could be wrong, but that's all that we could find. And wouldn't it be great if Antigua and Barbuda were number 3 in that process to show that we do take mental health very seriously within our twin island state. And apart from our website, we're also very active on social, well, not me, the rest of the ladies who are very good at social media are very active in posting information on all these social media platforms, and they do so as simple things from, information or memes or anything mental health related, and direct us right back to our website. And again, we're hoping to put on more events. We're hoping future things like conferences can be held here for the association, regionally and internationally. So that's what we look forward to. So please go and take a look. Look us up, we're there, and more information, again, can be found on our website. Thank you.
Thank you both for that spectacular presentation. I think it's safe to say that everybody in this room is more informed about what it is that the association stands for and what it is that the association does. Correct? Yay? Nay? Okay. All right. Now, we have the absolute pleasure of hearing from our guest speaker, Miss Regina Aparicio. So sorry. You can go. I'm going to read a little bit about Miss Regina Aparicio. Regina is an associate clinical psychologist and certified grief educator who primarily works in the field of addiction, but has amassed a decade of experience working in mental health to support clients in addressing various concerns and establishing goals for wellness. She has a master's degree in clinical psychology and has completed postgraduate training in loss, grief, and trauma management, which guides her approach as she takes pride in helping others become better versions of themselves. Regina is considerably passionate about the destigmatization of mental health, which has led to her involvement as a director on the boards of 2 local nonprofit organizations. That is Mental Health Talk Antigua and Scrub Life Cares. With the support of her peers and partnering organizations, she has influenced the increase of access to free psychoeducational resources via Mental Health Talk Antigua, which came into fruition as a response to the COVID-19 pandemic that negatively impacted many individuals and families in her local communities. Regina's involvement in Scrub Life Cares has afforded her the opportunity to assist in the development of programs specifically aimed at supporting women and youth in underserved communities. Her community involvement has not gone unnoticed as she became the first recipient of the JCI Antigua Award for Mental Health Activists in 2021. Regina has also facilitated workshops, presented at conferences, and mentored colleagues in training to support the advancement of the field of mental health. Outside of work, she can be found engaging in creative events and projects, as well as maintaining her own well-being by going to the beach, participating in hiking, outdoor activities, along with her new love for yoga, correct? Sorry, yes, her newfound love for yoga. So now, please join me in welcoming Ms. Regina Aparicio.
Thank you. All protocols already observed. Good evening. The launch of Antigua and Barbuda's Association of Mental Health Counselors, for which I now know as ABAMHC, I really like it, marks a historical milestone as it creates awareness in relation to mental health care in our country. It engraves in our history, critical steps being undertaken to not only recognize global objectives associated with mental health, but follow through with the necessary supportive actions. Actions which we ought not to overlook. Today, we have been given the opportunity to learn firsthand from the founding members of ABAMHC about this significant undertaking, one that is reflective of themes associated with mental health for this year. That is suicide prevention awareness and mental health awareness. These themes indicated creating hope through action and recognition of mental health as a universal human right. I imagine this effort would have been immensely, extremely challenging, especially because it surfaced during a period not too long ago, the COVID-19 pandemic, which exposed the absence of adequate legislation governing mental health and brought to light many of our systemic inefficiencies. Many of us, myself included, had to delve deep within ourselves in an effort to support the most vulnerable in our communities. That is, victims of abuse and violence, persons struggling with addiction and existing mental or perhaps even physical health conditions, our children, our elderly, and individuals who struggled with grief, as well as those living in conditions which essentially became unstable owing to the absence of needed financial resources for a prolonged period. More specifically, or at least more significantly, many clinicians, including myself, who were fairly new to the field. In fact, I only returned back from studies in 2019. And I had to find very creative ways of adapting approaches. And luckily, through the support of many of you, faces who I see that are very familiar in this room, I was able to experience support via collaborating, not only with you, but also with many clinicians further afield. For many of us, our resources and opportunities for advancement did not, and still in some ways do not reflect the environments in which we were trained. I heard Elena mention about the opportunity for licensure in Jamaica. I studied in Jamaica, but I returned here not being able to access licensure. Our reality is just vastly different, and I wish to emphasize that. We are often tasked with supporting our clients through the most difficult and darkest moments of their lives, without the availability of supportive mechanisms in place. Yet, many of us have remained committed in helping those around us to gain a better understanding of themselves with the goal of improving their lives. It is for this reason that I stand here with immense pride. In fact, I am overjoyed. I'm a little nervous as well, but I noticed that considerable strides have been made to support us as clinicians through the creation of ABAMHC, one which beyond our individual efforts which oftentimes is exhausting, can influence significant change and offer networking opportunities while aspiring, or at least inspiring, I should say, the next generation of mental health professionals to avail themselves and to return home to our country. For these reasons, and those advanced by Madam President, it cannot be overstressed that we must support ABAMHC and embrace its vision as our own. That is, to advance the development of quality mental health care and support by upholding ethical standards for practice, providing continuing education, ensuring public awareness, promoting inclusivity, and exemplifying high professional standards. The involvement of each of you today can facilitate the growth of this organization. Support for us as members, and I say as members because I've already joined in my mind, and efforts made to destigmatize mental health, which continues to be an ongoing challenge. Our collective efforts are needed to ensure that those affected in our communities are treated with dignity and the respect that they deserve. We must ensure that there's greater understanding for the complexity regarding mental health. There is no one-size-fits-all. For far too long, overly simplistic and archaic perspectives, as evidenced by terms such as certified lunacy and asylum models for treatment, have formed part of existing legislation, which are essentially not in keeping with the practices that we know within our profession. In fact, I know that many of us detest those types of terms being used. I must share that it is not only crucial, though, for clinicians to feel supported, we must also be held accountable. And I commend the executive for drafting legislation which seeks to afford not only an opportunity for licensure in the future, but to offer directives in governing our practice with a focus on cultural sensitivity. This approach is in keeping with the best practices that we know within our profession, what we know is essential for our clients in order for them to see improvements in their treatment outcomes, and it is one that we should all embrace. In closing, let us not take mental health for granted. It is important, just as our physical health. It is an aspect of our well-being that ought to be valued, respected, and safeguarded. I now take the time to extend my congratulations, my many thank yous to the founding members of ABAMHC. Your hard work has not gone unnoticed, and I would imagine that even clinicians here in this room this evening are appreciative of what you have done, as well as for advocates such as myself. Thank you. Job well done.
Thank you, Regina, for your insight. Okay, well, on a scale of 1 to 10, are you guys ready to stay for another hour? Or should we, I mean, we're close to finishing, but I'm sure we could find a lot more to talk about? No? Okay, you pulled my leg. So, unfortunately, we are winding down to this aspect of this, well, this portion of this evening's proceedings. So, round of applause for everybody, just one more time, please. Just makes me feel better. I think it's been really great. I think it's been an informative session, and I am grateful that each and every one of you are here today. But I would like to now invite Dr. Saran King to the podium in order to give the official closing remarks.
All protocols observed. Thank you, Tichelle. Government and non-governmental officials, colleagues, media representatives, family and friends, good evening. Unfortunately, our official launch is coming to a close, but fortunately, the work continues as we trod on to positively impact mental health in Antigua and Barbuda. Thank you to our president, Ms. Tamira Luby, for ably guiding the association to where it is today.
I'm so sorry. Can I borrow this for a second? I do apologize on behalf of myself and everyone. However, ladies and gentlemen, please stand in your place for the departure of the Governor General of Antigua and Barbuda, Sir Rodney Williams. You may be seated.
Thank you to our president, Ms. Tamira Luby, for ably guiding the association to where it is today. Thanks are also extended to the executive board members of the association for their efforts, commitment, and dedication over the past few years to the success of the association and the well-being of the residents of Antigua and Barbuda, and also for their contributions to making this evening's event a success. Thanks to Miss Marisha Potter, who already left, for her beautiful rendition of the national anthem. Thank you to Miss Teresa Gardner for leading our proceedings with a word of prayer. Special thanks goes out to Miss Luana De Costa for assisting us in officially registering the association, and we are so grateful for that. To Miss Regina Aparicio, our guest speaker this evening, a heartfelt thank you for creating waves in the mental health space. Your dedication and sacrifice have not gone unnoticed. Thank you to our sponsors for this evening. Our title sponsor this evening, AUA, American University of Antigua, for being extremely gracious for offering us the use of the facilities, the use of equipment, and other amenities to host this event. Thanks goes out to Crossroads Center, Antigua, for their generous donation, Sister Soldiers, and ARC Signatures for facilitating the live stream and making this event accessible to those who could not be here physically with us. Thank you to Nellie and Archie, Vanilla Orchid, Antigua Distillery, Like a Latte, and Kennedy's Club Limited for catering the refreshments, which we will partake of afterwards. So don't run away. Thanks to Rotaract Club of Antigua for the volunteers who have assisted with the seamless execution of this evening's event. Thanks also goes out to Guiding Lanes and Transformation Through Therapy for their contributions. We also extend thanks to ABS, thank you. And of course, to everyone here for gracing us with your presence. We thank you for making this official launch of the Antigua and Barbuda Association of Mental Health Counselors a success. Thank you. Masters of Ceremony.
Alrighty, unless you all would like to stay here and just continue to talk to us, I would now like to invite you to go out to the main lobby and partake in some tasty treats and some refreshments, but also over to the laptops to register for membership. So thank you. Give yourselves a round of applause for being great. You guys are free to go mix and mingle. Oh, bye guys on live. I'm so sorry.